What's up, nerds? Let's talk.
Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Reviews. My name is Alden, and today is my, as of right now, best supporting characters. Now, disclaimer, these are supporting characters that are like right behind the MC, you know, the main character or whatever. It's not somebody like a Krillin or a Rock Lee, Gaara, people like that. You know, people that are like in the background to an extent. So these are people right behind the main character in a sense. So yeah, disclaimer. All right, so for number 5 is Katsuki Bakugou, and I'm just gonna call him Bakugou for the rest of the thing because I'm not gonna sit there and say it. Anyways, I got him at number 5 mainly because of his power. Not mainly, but a majority of it because of his power. It's cool. Like it's not fire. It's like kind of like a grenade type thing. You know, like they're like explosions out of it, and his control over it's incredible. Like if Deku didn't have the power he has, it would definitely be Todoroki and Bakugou's show. But obviously them two are not the MCs. But then the reason I picked Bakugou over Todoroki is simply for the fact that he's going to have that rivalry with Deku. Who calls that? He's going to have that rivalry throughout the show. Like even depending on where the show ends up going, they're going to have their rivalry beyond. So I picked him 5th because his power, his character, the rage he has inside towards Deku, and just the fact he's a good not backup, but he's a good like supporting character because they're gonna have those struggles or whatever. But if they work together, I'm pretty sure there's nobody they can't beat. So I got him at number 5. So number 4 is Kazuma Kuwabara. Now I'm gonna just call him Kuwabara because that's how I know him. But the reason he's number 4 is, and obviously when you see these supporting characters, a lot of them are going to be rivals with the main characters. So if I repeat myself, I apologize, but that's why I like him. But Kuwabara is on this list because of his attitude. His spiritual ability to send spiritual energy was like unrivaled pretty much for the people in their group or whatever. So he's got a certain edge over people. Plus the way he uses his spirit sword is just crazy. So and he goes through a lot of trials and tribulations with Yusuke in their show in Yu Yu Hakusho. So another reason he's number 4 is just because of how he interacts and helps push the character development of the people around him, like Hiei, Kurama, and obviously Yusuke. But when you first meet Kuwabara, he's lining himself up to get whooped by Yusuke, and you're just like, bro, who is this loser? Is this just one of those guys they throw in there? But then you start to see their story unfold and start to see who he is as a person, and they got a nice little rivalry going, so it helps out the show. Plus he's goofy, so everybody loves that in the character. And yeah, he's with Yusuke to the end, so that's why he's number 4. All right, so for number 3 is Bond 7 Deadly Sins. And me personally, if the show wasn't all about Meliodas, well, it's not all about him, but you get what I'm saying, like him being the main character, it could be about Bond. Like Bond could get a spin-off, and I think it would generate, obviously not just as many, because some people like Deanne and Gotha and stuff like that, but I feel like he could be one of those characters that if they get a spin-off, people will be drawn to it just because he's the character. So he's funny. He's he's very competitive with obviously Meliodas because everybody sees himself as second only to him. So he wants to prove himself all the time. Plus the fact that he's immortal is kind of cool because he gets put through hell and back, but he just smiles and keeps fighting. Plus his abilities are crazy. And then when you first meet him, you're like, bro, who's this disheveled old looking guy? And then he finesses everybody in the prison he was being held in on his own accord, by the way. He could have busted out whenever he wanted to, but he was being held on his own accord. But he's like, this is boring now. He has a nice dynamic with Meliodas, who's the main character, obviously, of Seven Deadly Sins. And the way they, their chemistry together is second to only a few because, well, obviously, but but they're just chemistry and how they fight together, and obviously when they fight against each other, proving like, oh, I'm better. It's fun to watch. Plus his backstory, incredible. His backstory with how he got his powers, the love of his life, etc., is crazy. So that's why he's my number 3. All right, so for number 2, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto franchise. Now, I don't really know, if there's too much I got to say about this, but it's Sasuke Uchiha. He is only second to the guy that's obviously number 1, but they have a lot of similarities. Now, one thing that I like about Sasuke more than anybody, not more than anybody, but more than the people, behind him or whatever, is because he wants to prove that he's the best. He doesn't care that Naruto's the main character. Sometimes, I feel like they write that in just so we're not like, oh, Naruto's gonna da-da-da. He pushed every single person. He pushed every single person in his village to have to get better in case he was gonna come back and attack. He was a pivotal person in the 4th Great Ninja War. When he came back, you started to feel not people. You started to feel like they had a burden lifted off their shoulder to oh, Sasuke's back and he's on our side, great. And then when he came through and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the Hokage, everybody's like, what is this guy talking about? He has a incredible character development, which most of these people do, because they at one point or another either start off as bad guys or rivals, whatever. So a lot of them do, but just the leaps and bounds he took, plus his backstory is crazy. And then just the way he started Shippuden to where he ended going into Boruto is just unbelievable to watch. Him and Naruto honestly could take on every village at once. If they felt so inclined, they could take out every single village in the 5th Great Ninja War if they had to. I haven't watched Boruto, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they won't have to. But that's a story for another day. But that's why he's my number 2, because of all those factors adding in. All right, number 1. Can it be anybody else other than the Prince of Saiyans? Come on now. Vegeta, Dragon Ball franchise. Now, obviously, he wasn't in Dragon Ball, but he was in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Kai, even though that's basically... But whatever. So he started off as the main driving force of the Saiyan saga. Then he was basically on both sides in the Namek/Frieza saga. And then he comes down to Earth. He makes nice. And now he's one of the main, people on... He's not... Me personally, I don't think Vegeta is a Z fighter because I feel like he's on his own... he's in his own category. People like Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha, Tien. I would even throw Goku... I would throw Gohan in there. Obviously, Goku's the leader of the Z fighters. But I would throw Gohan in there. Trunks... Trunks does his own thing with his dad, but they're not like a faction. You saw that in the Cell saga, for future Trunks. But anyways, the fact that Vegeta came down to Earth wanting to obliterate everybody, Goku and everybody, to the point of getting to Namek and in turn helping Goku and them fighting Frieza when he was told that he should be scared of Frieza. And obviously it wasn't for the greater good or anything, but he found out that Frieza did everything. To coming to Earth, having a baby with Bulma, to progressing all the way to where he is right now in Super, which they're still going with. Every step of the way, he's been a step behind Goku. He went to the hyperbolic time chamber and felt like he surpassed Goku. Goku comes out and he could just tell it was different. So, but he is another character that I feel like if Dragon Ball Z were based around him, it would still be one of the greatest animes ever, because he shows you that regardless of what happens in life, you still need to keep your pride as a man, woman, whatever. you still need to show that, hey, look, I don't care what it is. You're not going to treat me like I'm anybody. You know, I don't have to be a prince. I don't have to be a king, queen, whatever. I'm going to stay my ground. You're never going to take away, like, his scream, like, when he said there's one thing you can never take away from a Saiyan, that's his pride. When he screams, I get goosebumps. That's honestly one of the greatest moments in anime, and I don't think it gets as much recognition. I don't think he gets as much recognition as he deserves. Now, obviously, he's like top 5 anime characters, like that have that jump from bad to good or whatever. I feel like, but for me, he's the number 1 supporting character because he's also a driving force in Goku's assertion to want to be the best, because he sees Vegeta pretty much on his heels. He's like, yo, if I even lag, he'll catch me. Goku went to the other world and he still needed to train. He didn't know if he was ever going to see Vegeta again, because the way, you know, in their anime universe, how, you know, death and everything works out, he didn't know he was going to keep his body, but he did. But he didn't know Vegeta was gonna, but he was like, I can't lag. Now obviously there was other people in the other world that he wanted to fight, and he wanted to make sure he wasn't lacking on them, but I'm pretty sure Vegeta was the main driving force on that. But anyway, that's my list. Obviously I'm very biased towards Dragon Ball Z. I don't like doing these lists. I mean, I like doing these lists, but there's not a lot of lists where a Dragon Ball Z person won't be in it if they're not at the top. So I'm sorry, that's what it is. But please like, share, and subscribe. Remember to comment down below if I got it right, if I got it wrong. Who's your top 5? By the way, so I do 2 videos a week, but you know, for the next couple of weeks, maybe even months, that's done. I'm only gonna do 1 video a week. I'm gonna alternate between, as of right now, my opinion videos and the anime reviews, just, you know, so I can focus on the animes that I'm watching, because I feel like if I'm trying to do 2 videos at once, you know, I won't be engaged in the anime I'm watching, so I won't give a good enough review or a competent review. So I mean, for right now, that's what it is. So we'll see how it goes for the next couple of weeks. But anyways, yeah, keep watching.